Leaving an abusive relationship should seem obvious, right? You're hurt, manipulated, and living in fear. So why is it so hard to just walk away? If you're struggling with this, you're not alone. The reasons for staying with an abusive partner are complex, deeply psychological, and sometimes even rooted in love. Let's dive into why leaving an abusive person feels impossible and what you need to know to break free. One of the most misunderstood things about abuse is that it's not just physical. Emotional, psychological, and verbal abuse can be just as damaging, and the cycle of abuse can make it incredibly difficult to leave, even when it's hurting you. The first reason, trauma bonding. Abusive relationships often follow a cycle of abuse, apology, and reconciliation. This is called the honeymoon phase, where your abuser may shower you with affection, apologies, and promises to change. The highs of this cycle feel euphoric, especially after periods of tension and conflict. Over time, your brain becomes conditioned to crave these moments of affection, even if they are followed by more abuse. The abuser's kindness makes you feel like things could get better, which keeps you stuck hoping for change. Fear is another reason many people don't leave. Abusers often manipulate through threats, whether it's physical harm, emotional blackmail, or threats of destroying your life if you try to leave. They might say things like, "No one else will ever love you," or "I'll make your life miserable if you go." This constant fear of escalation makes leaving seem not only difficult, but dangerous. When you're living in a state of anxiety, you're often stuck in survival mode, making it even harder to think rationally about your situation. Abusers are masters at shifting blame. Over time, you might start to believe that their abusive behavior is somehow your fault, that maybe you provoked them or that you're simply not good enough. This self-blame makes you feel like you are the problem, not them. The guilt can weigh you down, making you think that if you just try harder or change yourself, the abuse will stop. But here's the truth, no matter what you do, you are not responsible for someone else's abusive behavior. Many people in abusive relationships stay because of financial dependency. Abusers often control finances, leaving their partners with no savings, no job, and no means to support themselves or their children if they leave. The thought of financial ruin can feel like an insurmountable barrier to escaping. Despite the abuse, many people stay because they still love their abuser. This might sound strange to someone on the outside, but relationships aren't always black and white. You remember the good times, the person they were in the beginning, and you cling to the hope that the good version of them will come back. Abusers often exploit this hope, giving you just enough kindness to make you think they can change. But true change rarely happens without outside help and accountability. Abusers often isolate their victims, cutting them off from friends and family. Over time, this isolation makes you feel like you have no one to turn to. You might feel ashamed to admit what's happening, or fear that no one will believe you. This emotional isolation makes leaving feel even more impossible. Abuse doesn't just hurt you physically or emotionally, it erodes your sense of self. You might start to believe that you're not worthy of love, respect, or kindness. The abuser's constant criticism and manipulation wear you down, making you feel like you deserve the treatment you're getting. Without a strong sense of self-worth, leaving feels pointless, because deep down you don't believe you deserve better. If any of these reasons resonate with you, know this, it's not your fault. Leaving an abusive relationship is not just a physical act, it's an emotional and psychological journey. It's okay to feel conflicted, scared, and uncertain. But no matter what your abuser has made you believe, you deserve to live a life free from pain, fear, and manipulation. Reaching out for help is the first step toward healing. Whether through a trusted friend, a counselor, or a support group, there are people who will stand by you and help you regain your strength. You are not alone. If this video spoke to you or someone you know, please share it. Knowledge is power, and by understanding the psychology behind abuse, you can take the first steps to reclaiming your life. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more insights on emotional well-being and personal growth.